MMA Crazy, and I'm here with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson for UFC X. How are you finding it? What's your day been like so far?
It's been awesome, man. Crazy busy, just meeting with fans, hanging out, signing autographs, just having a good time. You know how it is. So, I mean, this is like, I swear, this is the biggest year yet for the UFC Expo. So we're having a good time.
Do you enjoy interacting with the fans? Because obviously when you're in fight week, you don't really get to interact so much with fans, right?
Yeah, this is what I love. I mean, this is why we do what we do. We do it for the fans. I love meeting the fans, hanging out with them, getting to know them. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, we do it for them.
Yeah, definitely. And Juliana Pena was talking about some crazy things that she's been asked or signed. Is there anything crazy that a fan has come up to you and...
No, I mean, I literally have had nothing crazy. You know, I've signed babies and things like that.
Signed babies, right?
I'm kidding. I've never really signed anything crazy, which is disappointing. I'm mad. Give me something crazy, people.
And of course, I don't know, maybe the turnout was because people are obviously expecting Conor McGregor to be headlining this weekend. What was your reaction when you heard that wasn't going to happen?
You know, obviously disappointed like everybody else. I wanted to see Conor McGregor come back out there and do his thing. I mean, we all love seeing him. He brings such a presence from the UFC when he's on the card. But, you know, Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka, you know, they're going to bring it. So that's just as exciting to me stylistically. I mean, you saw the first one. It was amazing. So they're going to put on a show for sure.
Definitely. And what did you think about the toe injury for Conor? Because, you know, a lot of people are saying Alex Pereira had broken toes. You know, what's your opinion? I mean, obviously, as a fighter, do you think he should have continued with that, or do you think he made the right decision by withdrawing?
You know, any injury, I think he made the right decision. And the thing is, like Conor McGregor, he doesn't have to fight to make a living. He's doing it for the fans. So, of course, he wants to be at tip-top shape. He wants to be 100% when he steps out, so he puts on the best show possible. And, you know, I don't fault him for that at all.
Yeah. And, you know, where do you think that leaves Chandler? Do you think he should take another fight now, or he's been sitting out for so long for this fight? You think he just continues to wait?
I mean, no, I think he should take a fight just to stay active, and, you know, people still want to see him fight as well. But always, I think Conor's next fight, if it ever happens, it should be Chandler for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned about this weekend. Are there any other fights that you're looking forward to seeing?
Of course, the MVP and Ian Garry fight. That's going to be spectacular. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait.
You know, a lot of people, when MVP was signed, people kept saying, oh, you know, we'd love to see him against Wonderboy because of the styles. You know, when you look at MVP, how do you break down his skill set in terms of that kind of very, very elusive, very unorthodox style?
It all comes down to the karate background. We both come from a karate background. We both, you know, did some point fighting in our early days. I think he did it a slightly longer than me, but in our own way, with that style, have brought it over to MMA. So there are some similarities, there are some differences, but the thing is, I mean, he said it better himself. You know, a positive and a positive doesn't always make a positive.
Right.
You know, we get out there, we're both counter strikers, so it could be just us just staring at each other the whole time. When some people think it's going to be super exciting, you know, and it's not, it could be very disappointing. But you know, he's fighting a guy ranked higher than me, and I hope he goes out there and does work and see him hopefully shoot for the title one day.
Yeah. So that wouldn't interest you really because of the matchup, the style matchup?
Not really, man. No. I mean, our goal is to put on the best show for the fans as possible. And I don't think that we would put on a show for, you know, I don't think it would be as exciting as everybody thinks it would be.
Yeah. And, you know, Ian Garry has said a lot about MVP. You know, he thinks he's better than MVP. He's ranked higher than MVP. What have you thought of the kind of the trash talk, that back and forth going into the fight?
You know, I think Ian Garry, he's a very intelligent fighter. I think he's going to have a solid game plan going out there. But, you know, I just don't see him, you know, catching MVP as he comes in. I think he's going to have a very hard time doing anything with him up against the fence, try to dirty box him. I think it's going to be MVP all day. How
do you see it ending?
I don't predict any knockouts, but I do believe that MVP is going to have his hand raised by the end of the fight. But like I said, I mean, anything can happen out there. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like to anybody out there, you know what I mean? I learned that myself fighting Anthony Pettis. I was beating him. Next thing you know, I'm waking up off the mat. So, you know, I'm cheering for my man MVP.
Yeah. And where do you think that would leave him in the division? Obviously, you've got Shavkat kind of hovering around there. Leon Edwards is going to be defending against Belal soon. So where do you think a win for MVP would leave him in the division?
I mean, I think he moves up in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
He's got to. You beat Ian Garry, who's undefeated, who is that next prospect. One more fight, maybe after him, he could be fighting for a title.
Yeah. And of course, you fought Shavkat. You know, what's it been like the time away? You know, I think did you say you broke your foot, or you may have broken your foot?
Yeah, I kicked him right in the elbow, broke my foot. I'm not really sure which round that was in, but you know, it was a very tough fight. I was actually very happy with myself. You know, leading up to that, or in that fight, I was a little disappointed afterwards, but you know, a win's a win for him. I got to go back to the board and continue to move forward.
Yeah. And when do you want to get back in there?
Hopefully here pretty soon. I've got some injuries that I'm trying to heal up. You know, growing injury. I woke up like 2 weeks ago with my knees swollen like a balloon. So it's weird. You know, when you turn 41, things don't heal up like they used to. So.
And of course, you fought Shavkat. No one wanted to fight Shavkat. Do you see any opponent in mind that you want to go for next?
You know, Joaquin Buckley called me out. There's a lot of guys that are coming up that want to try to move that number 9 spot. Anybody can get. I don't care. I mean, nobody wanted to fight Shavkat. I said, let's make it happen. So not running from anybody. Let's do it.
And of course, the title fight is coming up next month. So how do you see it going down between Belal Muhammad and Leon Edwards?
Oh man, I think it's going to be a tough night for Belal. Leon Edwards is good everywhere. Belal Muhammad, you know, he's going to have to get the fight to the ground in order to win this fight. I mean, you saw what happened with the last fight with Kamaru Usman, Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards. Leon ended up taking him down in the first round. So he's got the wrestling, he's got that in the back as well. I think it's going to be Leon Edwards.